If you are looking to purchase or sell a home in Nova Scotia in 2022, there's a major change that goes into effect January 3rd that you need to know about. Hi, I'm Dawn McGee, licensed realtor here in Nova Scotia since 2004. Here is a disclaimer though, I don't sell real estate. I am not a salesperson per se. Yes, I'm licensed and involved in helping buyers and sellers successfully complete property transactions, but I consider myself more of an information provider, a research analyst, marketing specialist, and a problem solver. So with that being said, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you do not miss any of my weekly updates about the Nova Scotia real estate market. Now, on to the major change for Nova Scotia home buyers and sellers that go into effect January 3rd, 2022. Be sure to watch the end because I'll explain a second change that is coming that is directly a result of this crazy seller's market. This first change has to do with the buyer condition deadline. When a buyer makes an offer, there is a set amount of time that the buyer has to make sure they are satisfied with the conditions they have placed on an offer. Conditions such as financing, house inspection, insurability, septic, water tests. The old phrasing to the purchase and sale contracts would read, these conditions shall be deemed to be met unless notice to the contrary is received by the seller on or before the condition deadline date. If notice to the contrary is received, then either party may be at liberty to terminate the agreement. So if a buyer raised no objection or gave no notice of dissatisfaction, then the purchase and sale contract was deemed firm and binding. The term "no news is good news" was the rule of thumb, but this often left parties unsure as to where their offer stood when that deadline actually came. These changes that are coming into effect will be the opposite. There is a new form called Form 408 that has to be signed by the buyer when they have satisfied all their conditions on or before the deadline. If this form is not signed and received by the seller or the seller's agent by that deadline, the contract is then automatically terminated. Now, the second major change that will come into effect in Nova Scotia real estate is directly related to the large number of buyers trying to compete in this seller's market. With the old phrasing, if the buyer wanted to present an amendment to the seller to address deficiencies with inspections perhaps, the buyer would run the risk of the seller being able to terminate the agreement. As the phrasing read, if notice to the contrary is received, then either party would be at liberty to terminate the agreement. On the old amendment forms, the sellers had the options to either accept the buyer's amendment, reject the buyer's amendment, provide a counter to that amendment, or the fourth option was to terminate. With these changes coming into effect, the seller is no longer able to terminate when presented an amendment by the buyer. The buyer will be able to present an amendment to a purchase and sale agreement without the fear or pressure of the seller being able to terminate the purchase, perhaps in favor of a backup offer. Any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm happy to talk real estate, or go on over to my website, movenovascotia.com, where there's lots more Nova Scotia real estate resources.